Hello. It is my What's Up segment for the week. I'm a little later than I had planned to be, but it's a crazy end of primary school week for my daughter. And I can tell you, haven't had a minute to myself this week at all. Anyway, I am sneaking just a few minutes in here before I have to go collect groceries and do all the other family and wifey things. At this time of year, I don't get much time to craft, certainly not this week. And I find for my own mental health, I still need to come into my craft room and do something. I can't get a craft flow, what I call a craft flow, so an extended period of time where I can really get into the creative parts. So it's really good time, in my mind anyway, to get a little bit organised. Both from the point of view of feeling good about the organisation, but also it's something I can come and go and do in 5 and 10 minutes in allotments. So I was looking for an extra way of organising my stamps. So I've got a couple of things that I do at the moment. I've still got some close to my heart stamps in my close to my heart organiser, and you'll understand why I'm keeping this this angle for my camera in a moment. So I've got some 6-inch stamps, and then I've obviously got the Stampin' Up stamps as well, which are more like 7 inches in height. Haven't got the perfect solution yet in terms of storage. This was something really old and I've not been able to get a hold of them again, but I'm hoping that Stampin' Up will bring out some sort of organisation for us to slot into our collacs. What I'm sharing you with this morning though is the idea of using these tabbed organisers. Can you see that? Flowers, nature, summer, Christmas. I've got a very small Stampin' Up collection at the moment, but I'm using these tab dividers to help me to keep track of them. Okay, so I'm going to show you what I use and how that works. So first of all, now you can probably get 3-ring tab dividers. In fact, they don't even have to be 3-ring. They can be any ring from wherever you can want to get them from. I happen to buy these from the Amazon Basics. I'm not sure if you can get just a single pack. I'll have to go back and have a look, but the last time I bought them, so they're a pack of 8, and then Amazon sell them as 6 packs of 8 for $19.90 in Aussie dollars. So that works out to $3.32 for this pack of 8, which ends up being 42 cents each. Okay, I might post that in the comments. I'll even put a link to this particular bundle that I bought from Amazon Basics. Okay, so at 42 cents each, what I'm getting is one of these. I'm just going to get back up on my stair so I can see, because I can't. So you'll get one of these for 42 cents, which I think is pretty good. I have previously, many months back, looked at whether you could buy organisers like this, and the only thing you can get is comic dividers, and they're very expensive. They're more A4 size. So you really want something that's cheap, and I can get 2 tabs. In fact, that makes them 21 cents each, because I forgot about dividing that. I can get 2 per divider. So I'm going to show you how I do that. So first of all, I'm going to show you for the Stampin' Up cases. So I'll pull one of these out. In fact, I'll take this one out. This one's just called Things. So these ones are a little bit taller, and you can see the Christmas ones don't have to be as tall, because these are for my 6-inch tall stamps from Close to My Heart. Okay, so I think this is this one. All right, so the first thing that you're going to do, I'll take this out of the way, is cut it exactly in half. Okay, and the only thing, I'll give you a little warning there, just when you're doing these ones here. Now, this is with the Amazon Basics. If you buy something that's a little bit different, you can work it out for yourself. But you just need to cut them in half. I think it's 5.5 inches. Yes, here it is, 5.5 inches from there to there. Just be careful, it's slightly less than 5.5 inches when you're doing the orange and the this sort of vanilla colour here, just because you don't want to cut into that tab. Okay, so you're going to cut it in half first, and then the one that has the tab on it already, you'll just keep that and cut for the taller version. When you're doing the Stampin' Up stamps, I'll lay that beside it. You'll just cut 3/4 of an inch off the bottom. Now you can adjust this. What I suggest is make a template for yourself, or cut one and then take note of your measurements, because I still, every time I go to do these, if I haven't done it for a while, I do something wrong and I lose something in the second one usually, because I do something like cutting it straight across. So you don't want to cut that 3/4 of an inch all the way off, and you'll see why in a moment. So the first one's easy, because it's nice to have all the different tabs so that when you've got it in your organizer, they do stagger a little bit and you don't want them all behind each other. Then you've got this second side. Okay, now this one doesn't have a tab, but you can use this too, and you can stagger it if you want to. You can do it a duplicate of the other. Okay, and that's why there is just a slither when you're doing the 7.5 inch tall ones. It's really just a slither. For me, it's just underneath the, I got that in camera. Let's have a look. This one, it's just underneath where the ring divider is. Okay, and I just literally draw around it with a pen and then just cut it with scissors, because it's already cut through there, and then you'll get another divider from this side. So that's 2 dividers per divider sheet. Okay, so that's that one. Then let's put this back. Okay, then for the 6 inch ones, so these are a little bit shallower. So move this over here, and you will see. Okay, so for the 6 inch ones, so I haven't made them very much taller at all than the actual stamp sets themselves. I don't think it needs it. And then it's not going to take up any more room, particularly in my close to my heart zip up organizer. I don't want it to stand up much taller. Hope this is going live. I didn't actually check, did I? I really probably should. Let's just have a quick look and make sure that this is going live. I can't see it, but let's cross my fingers. Okay, so for the 6 inch tall ones, again, you're going to cut it in half. Okay, or it's about 5.5 inches across. Let me just have a look at that. Yeah, it is 5.5 inches. It's just for the right hand side, or where the tab bit is, it's just slightly bigger than the 5.5. So that's why I said caution when you've got those middle ones. And then for your 6 inch tall ones, it's 1 7/8 off the bottom. Easiest way to measure it is really just have a stamp set and draw underneath it. For those who prefer the metric, it's 4 3/4 centimeters off the bottom. And again, you're then going to use this one to draw a tab around that one, and then cut off the rest. So if you need a measurement, it is 1.5 inches, and then draw around the tab, but you can just draw around the other side and then just cut off. You don't even really need to measure. So I will put that here for a moment. For those of you who want to take a photo, let's just make sure I've got that all in view. Okay, I'm not sure why. Oh, I've got some shadows today. I shouldn't have shadows, but anyway, I do. So that's the measurements there for the 6 inch one. Take a photo of that, or snap a shot of the still screen. And there's the measurements there for the Stampin' Up 7.5 inch ones. Okay, really easy. Again, if you buy a different set of these tab dividers, I do like the quality of these. They're not too stiff, but they're good quality enough. They're easy enough to cut with scissors. I even just cut them with my trimmer in terms of the longer cuts. But you might find something else, and then just adjust if they're bigger, shorter, or whatever. Just adjust it to fit your stamps. So just looking at that again, you'll see, I'm going to tilt my camera now so you can see a little bit better. So you'll see there, I can now locate my stamps and die cuts easier. I put my alphas at the back because I know I'll get more of those. My basic shapes. And then I've just started to categorise, which are pretty much the same categories that I had with my close to my heart stamps, which makes sense. My brain still works in exactly the same way. What I imagine and is already happening, what it's allowed me to do in my other organisers, and I have little tubs that fit a shelf system, but I also have these black containers. Whatever you have, you just want a tab that sits up. What I found was, you know, even just in here, I don't know how many there would be, about 20, by having subdividers in here. So Christmas, and then I had a lot of Santas. So I had a category called titles, and now I've got large titles, small and medium, or something like that. So you come up with the divider names that suits you, however your brain works and helps you to locate your stamps. But I hope that using these for dividers is helpful to your stamp organisation. Oh, forgot to turn it back, didn't I? Sorry about that. Okay, that's me for my what's up this week. I hope that you're sliding into your Christmas preparation, unlike me, who seems to be running a marathon to get there. And I will do one more, what have we got? Probably one more next week before we hit Christmas. Okay, bye for now.